Gorgeous souls, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Heart and Soul. Today, we're going to speak about inner peace, which is so important. We all lead this busy, hectic life and the world around us. So, inner peace, that place of bliss, tranquility, and that place where we can recharge and connect to our heart and our soul, our true essence. And hello, Janet. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, Caroline. How are you? All
It's good.
excited to
It
be
is.
here. I love this. It's a highlight of the week. So, but inner peace, it's a good one to talk about the way the world is right now. I think so many people are being triggered. We talked a few weeks ago about fear. You know, there's so much noise, there's so much things going on in our world right now that are upsetting sensitive people like ourselves. And we talked a few weeks ago about being an empath, what that means. So there's a lot going on and a lot upsetting the balance. And inner peace is our way of finding our way back to balance and harmony in ourselves. What does it sort of mean to you, Caroline?
Yeah, it truly means just that spaciousness, giving us that space to be, to breathe, to feel into our own essence. And it also is sort of like a calm mind. It's so often, we have so much to do. We're thinking about, I have to do this, this and that, the to-do list. It's the busyness that keeps us out of that. And we always say we have no time, we rush forward, but just taking a couple of minutes to just be. Yesterday, we had a long weekend here, and I was outside in the garden in the sun and had my coffee, and there was just that moment of pure bliss where I just like a deep breath in, and I had nothing to do. I had that absolutely gorgeous moment where I truly connected, and I felt at peace with myself and at peace with the world. And I think even in the worst storms, if we can connect to that inner peace, that storm doesn't affect us so much. So it's even more important for every one of us to find those moments of inner peace.
Exactly. And I love that word you use. And every time I do think of that word with you, bliss. And it is such a beautiful word, and it has such a lovely resonance and frequency about it. It's like joy, it's like love, it's that higher vibrational frequency. And every time you say it, I go, yes, bliss. Like you at the weekend, I think I even sent you a picture actually. I was sitting in my healing hub, my little summer house, and I had my foot up because it was a little bit sore over the weekend. And I was just relaxing, enjoying seeing my garden, and I had some classical music on, and it was like you're in a little zone, a little bubble. And my garden is like my sanctuary and brings me so much inner peace. I've got my roses that I just picked from the garden this morning. And it does, it for me, I was trying to think about before coming on, what it sort of means. We're sentient beings. That means we're feelings. We have feelings and emotions. We feel not only touching feeling, but emotional feeling. And particularly if you're like us, you're an empath or a highly sensitive person, you really, that's ramped up a lot. And we feel that. And it creates like a discordant in our energy. So our energy starts to go all over the place, because I'm thinking about the energetic part of us. And there's a lovely energetic core through us. And that's, I think, one of the key places where we need to find balance there again. And if you know about chakras, you've got the soul star chakra up here, and you've got the earth star underneath your feet. And it's this energetic core just runs through you with lots of, like, imagine sort of filaments of light going up and down. Beautiful. And if that's not working, we're all over the place. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's also about finding that inner peace is so important to our energetic well-being. And once that's harmonized, because you've a lot of energy, you know this as well, you've a lot of energy systems in your body, it's not just one. And once that starts, you bring that online, let's say, you bring that all back online, and you start to come back to that lovely place, your heart and soul. And you have that settled, it's like settled. It's like this sense of tranquility, and that it's like nothing else really, that noise doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It's just stuff going on, but you can not allow it to affect you. Because I know in the past, like, all the things been going on, I get so angry because I don't understand, why are people being like this? Why is the world like this? Why? And it's made me, Caroline, it's made me very angry because I couldn't change it. How do you feel like that? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I feel it's definitely about being in balance. Yeah, like your chakras and everything, but grounded to Mother Earth and connected to the universe, and that peaceful place. I always compare it when you're sort of in a little nutshell robot kind of type, and when you get up, when you stand there, that you really rock the boat, and that's when you're sort of, yeah, what's going on. But if you just sort of like lie down in that boat and you just let that boat go wherever it needs to go, then you're in a more peaceful, trusting kind of space. And I think sometimes you always want to control everything, or also with the women I work, they always want to keep busy so they don't have to listen within. They don't connect to their own inner wisdom and whatever that says, because they're afraid. They're afraid of their inner guidance or what is coming up. But if we can connect within and let that just be, just breathe through whatever is coming up and sort of letting it go. A following episode on letting go is coming up. And then we can just be in that peace, because in that moment, nothing matters. Only that we breathe, and that goes naturally. In that moment, we are at complete peace with who we are. And like you said, whatever is going on around us doesn't really matter. And we realize how much we take on, especially as empaths, people calling, shouts, or news, or whatever, and our own busyness, because sometimes we keep busy when we don't feel worthy. We just try to feel worthy by doing more, and that's not inner peace. It's that running away from that calm space. And the more people could just connect with their heart and soul, their true essence, that calm, balanced breath. It's just, it's this spacious energy. You feel so good, and you feel so good about yourself. And from that place on, you can get clear guidance, your next step, And if it's just 2-3 minutes, it's enough. And then afterwards, your to-do list just flows. I feel it's really important to always connect to that inner peace.
Absolutely. And it's, you know, as you sort of say there and explain what it means, and you said about being in a boat and going with the stream, that being in flow and just accepting. I mean, I do sort of feel we live in an age where everything around us, it's like an illusion, and it's about wanting to trigger us. And we have to almost recognize that's what it is. I can't change that, but what I can do is I can change me, and I can make me energetically in a good place, frequency in a good place, my heart and soul in a good place. And we mentioned this before, when you're in that inner peace, in that harmonized existence, the lovely thing is that you go about your life and everything is sort of, I'm not saying you don't have issues and things come up, but you're able to be more resilient and deal with them and often see them for what they are. There may be somebody else's issue, and you can deal with that. And particularly as an empath, that's important to learn. But that lovely sense of flow and stepping back, and that you're rippling, that lovely ripple effect of your energy starting to go out into the world. And, you know, you do a little random act of kindness for somebody and you make their day, and it's sort of like it's passing it on, and it's like a chain event. And I think that's what we need to recognize, is that I think there's part of us, because we're Leos, there's a little bit of a warrior aspect to our being. And I had to sort of step back and realize that I don't have to be an activist. I don't have to be this angry person to get things to change. I just need to change me and get back to that, because it has been a difficult few years. You know that, Caroline. It's been very difficult. And the busyness, when you said that, I went, oh yes, I put lots of busyness in there. So yes, absolutely. And sometimes it's just taking that pause.
It is. And yeah, like you said, we can only change ourselves. We can complain about the outdoors, about the news and the neighbor and everything. But when we change ourselves, we also change the perception of the things, and they don't attack us so much. When we are in peace, our life flows, and it gives the universe the permission to put things fall into place. Whereas when we try to put the things there, or try to cling, or this outcome, and we don't allow that magic to happen on its own. And I have so many people, they always come, oh, Caroline, I so love to talk to you. I thought it was so calm and peaceful, and I think this is just what the world needs, because hectic, we have enough hectic, and that only produces stress, and that cortisol level is so up, and it's inflammation, and people can't sleep, and people stress even more, and then they sleep less, and that's such a vicious cycle. So the more we can learn to come into our inner peace, the more we can calm our whole nervous system, the more we can calm our body, and the more connected we are. And especially for people who might feel a bit alone or left out, or like they're not good enough, or they're too sensitive, or whatever else they've heard all their lives. Connect within, connect with your true essence, and connect to that peace. And the more we can connect to that peace, the more we are like Teflon, you know, like you said, everything is sort of falling away and we say, oh no, this is not me, goodbye. Or we don't get so, pulled into the storm. We can just stay more centered, we see clearer, we have clear guidance, and life is so much better in a calm space. It's like when we enjoy nature, you know, if we're on the motorway rushing through, we hardly see the trees. But if we take a leisurely walk, we can see the flowers, we can see the trees, we feel the energy. And that's what life is about, isn't it? About enjoying the moments.
I like that you brought that up, because actually yesterday we did get stuck in a traffic jam, because the traffic here is ridiculous and they're doing so much road works all over the place. So no matter when you're out in the car, you are more or less guaranteed you will get stuck. And we were coming back and I kind of went, oh, look at the line of traffic. It's unbelievable. And I could feel myself going to that place where you get angry and complaining. And then I sat and went, no, Janet, you have a choice here. Change your thinking, change your thoughts. And I looked out the window and exactly that I was going to Mark. Oh, look at that lovely blossom. There's hawthorn blossom. Look at the lovely daisies at the side of the road, you know. And I started making this commentary about the all of the like nature at the side of the road. And I said, you know, you don't normally see this because you are going normally quite fast down this road. So I thought, just when you said that, I just went, yes. And to be quite honest, didn't even notice the time then going on. It didn't seem too bad at all.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. What helps you to connect to inner peace, Janet?
You've mentioned nature. I mean, me spending time in my garden is very much a place where I find it as a sanctuary, and it makes me feel so happy. When we did the house, the garden was completely eradicated. There was a big pile of mountain of stuff. And I thought, I'm never going to have a garden again. And, you know, it has taken time, but both Mark, my husband, and I have done the work. We've put it in, we're nurturing it, we're looking after it. And that to me brings me so much inner peace, being able to sit and enjoy it, but also working in it and looking after it. So for me, gardening, my garden. What about you, Caroline?
And smelling the roses, of course.
Oh, my roses smell gorgeous, yes.
Yeah, for me, it's nature as well. But also I have one thing I always do, and I teach all my clients. It's when you put your hands on your heart and you take a deep breath in, just that thing of just touching your heart space already calms your mind. And in that space, when you then focus on your breath, you get calmer and calmer. And maybe we can do that together right now. So I invite everyone to just bring your heart or your hands or just a couple of fingers on your heart space and close your eyes and take in a deep breath into your belly, truly expanding the belly and letting go everything and anything. Breathe in more fresh energy and letting go of anything that's already happened today. And breathe in. And just connect to your heart space. Maybe even slow your breathing. Breathe in much slower. Expand your belly. And breathe out. And in that space, you might already feel calmer. Just connect within your heart space. And now ask yourself, what is it that I need now? Just taking another deep breath into your belly. What is it that I need now? And your answers might be coming as a voice in your inner ear, a picture in your inner eye, a sensing in your body, or a knowing. Whatever form it comes, just let it come. Taking another deep breath. What is it that I need now? And if you're new to this, it might be, you might not realize your answer yet. Don't despair. The answer is already in your energy field and it will come to you during the day or at night. What is it that I need? And promise yourself you do this for yourself today. Taking a deep breath. Thanking your heart space, your heart and soul for all the lovely guidance. The gratitude to look after yourself and connect to your inner peace. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. If you need the time to take notes, do that now. How are you feeling, Janet?
Very relaxed.
Yes, isn't it? It's just
Very.
like, oh, and I just realized it's sort of like a softness. It's sort of like, I feel like marshmallows or, something really soft. It's sort of like the complete softness, so mellow, really, it's precious, isn't it?
It is, and very gentle, very gentle. And I think that's also when you have that, when you're in that inner peace space, you do tend to be more gentle, more calm, slow down and breathing and just observing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, observing your thoughts, observing your feelings, and just adjusting gently. And I mean, people say you're always so peaceful, so calm, but I'm not there 100%. And as humans, it's not our aim to be in the flow of love and be at inner peace 100% of the time. So just observe and see when you're feeling stressed or something is going on. Just say, oh, what did Janet and Caroline say? Okay, all we need is that small tools to come back to a more spacious, calm, peaceful state. And just always gently bring yourself back into your heart and soul. And this is a journey, and we are humans, so we experience it all. Be extra gentle with yourself and allow that peace and calm. And the more inner peace you can install by just maybe at the supermarket, you don't have to put both hands on your heart. You can just tap 2-3 fingers and close your eyes and just take in a deep breath, and you're already much calmer. And that's the goal, to have the tools and know, okay, I need to come back into a more peaceful state.
Exactly. It's the awareness, recognizing, and then choosing how you wish to react, isn't it? I think the power of choice is amazing.
It is. And just taking that split second to just, for a moment, just to realize, okay, before we head down one direction where we used to, and then chaos.
And that's part of the learning process, isn't it? To be able to start to catch that moment and be able to make that choice. And for most people, they don't even recognize it. But when it becomes that awareness, then you can start to decide how you're going to react.
I feel it's just like getting in touch with your inner peace, because most people probably never experienced that, or have maybe fond memories as a child, you know, when you could just play out and observe bees or whatever. And then they feel like, I'm grown up, I have to do things. But if you get in touch with that inner peace, it's sort of like something that you always want to come back to, don't you?
It is. It's magical. And it does feel wonderful. You're right that sometimes you're not able to be in that space all the time, because as you say, we're here for this human experience. And so instead of it going almost like this, that my life has been in the last few years, it's now then more sort of just more gentle curve. So it's not just kind of the mad roller coaster, which I think when you're in that mode, you don't think it's ever going to end. You reacting all the time negatively, and it's just bringing you more of that. And at some point you have to really make an effort to change things.
Yeah, it's like stepping out of that hamster wheel. I think we are so used to being in that hamster wheel. We just keep going, but then all of a sudden stop and get out of that hamster. Oh, this is life. Oh, okay, it can be this way. And it's amazing. And like you said, yeah, for me, I mean, I had these big curves also, and now even if I fall out, it's easier to come back, and I'm more aware of when I'm not in my center, and it's easier to come back. So the lows are not as low and not as long, and you just adjust back in much easier. So that's wonderful. Do you have anything more on inner peace, Janet, you'd love to share?
Well, I also love guided meditations. I mean, you're brilliant at meditations. And I just wanted to share with our audience that I've also put together a little meditation called the Garden of Inner Peace. So I'll share some links that you can download that and listen. It's not too long. It's about 12 minutes long. But, you know, for some people, just finding that mental way of creating a sanctuary that you can go to anytime is very helpful. I know it helped me to know that when the world is too crazy and I didn't have my garden, I created that space in my head as my sanctuary that I could go to, and that really, really helped me. So that's something else I was going to share with you.
That's wonderful. And yes, absolutely. That gorgeous garden of inner peace, and we will share the links. And what did we say? Next week we want to talk about introverts, maybe.
Introverts.
Yeah. If you're an introvert, you've been probably labeled as something's wrong with you, you know. So yeah, we'll keep you posted, and we see you in a week. As always, sending you so much love, and thanks for being here.
Thank you. Love and light blessings, everyone. Wishing you all a great week.